10 a.m. on Wednesday, December the 4th. Orlando City, through its social media, has let us know that Oscar Pareja, the Colombian manager, is our new manager here in Orlando City. Previously, he had a stint in the Liga MX, and with Dallas and Colorado in the MLS. He was very successful in MLS, so we are hoping that his success in those clubs also translates here for Orlando City. After 5 years of awful seasons, I think this fan base is ready to see some winning. Based on the condition that our club is right now, I think this is the right hire. So we'll have to see in 2020 if this will translate into wins. So we're just hopeful.
Thank you. But it's not today. It's a very happy day for me, for the club. It's a pleasure, it's an honor to have Oscar here. A great coach, a great person, a guy who I can say is my friend. It's not only a great coach, but someone who, if you guys don't know him, you get to know just a great person. Just a guy that has all the values that we're looking for, the work ethic that we're looking for, everything that we're looking for. When we started this process, we started looking for a new coach. I couldn't find a better name. I couldn't think of a better name than Oscar. Every time that I stopped and I said, okay, this one guy here has A or B or C qualities. This other guy here has X, Y, and Z. And I thought back about Oscar and I say, Oscar has everything, has all of those. So for me, it's like I say, it's almost like, how could I find somebody better? I could not. And so that's why I'm so happy to be sitting here next to Oscar. We made it happen. And I'm super excited. I'm really excited to have Oscar and his team, and the future is bright.
Oscar? Oh, thank you so much, Luis. And I would like to thank also Alex and the people who made this possible. I would like to say to you all that today is a great day in my career as well. Coming back to Major League Soccer is not a big opportunity to keep growing after the last year where I spent fabulous time with Cholos and the Liga MX. A year he made me grow tremendously too. And I accept this challenge and I accept this opportunity because I see Orlando City as one of the Major League Soccer teams who has more ground to cover. And I'm very positive with the opportunity. I see a lot of stuff that can be made here in the future, but I also recognize that there is many things that you guys in conjunction with the team and the players have made in these 5 years. Has been a lot of building here. So I'm very excited, I'm very happy, very optimistic, and with a group of players we hope that we can give you a lot of good days and that we can create or keep creating a big story for Orlando.
So at 10 a.m. today, Orlando City has let us know that Oscar Pareja obviously is going to be the new manager of Orlando City, and they had their introduction of the official introduction um, of the manager. I have to tell you that the cynic and pessimist in me has to say that we have heard this before. This story of, I'm here to win championships. I'm here to take Orlando City to playoffs. We're gonna lift trophies. James O'Connor said that. Jason Christ said that. Adrian said that, but we already knew that he was capable of doing that, at least in USL. Um, but also, it's not hard to get excited. Love the game, and love the team, obviously, and I miss it now that there's no Orlando City football on TV or I can't go to the stadium. Um, that said, I think that a man with his pedigree can definitely do something. Is it playoffs this year? Who knows? Before I have gotten excited about it, and we have seen Orlando City do well in May and April. I'm sorry, in March and April, and then the bottom falls off, and by July, August, we know we're not gonna make it. A lot of people have said that the roster last year could have made playoffs. That was a possibility, but unfortunately, because of bad management decisions, and a lot of people are bringing up the case when we went to Chicago, second game of the season, and we simply gave up a late goal. At the death, and I was so disappointed at that point that we were dropping points like that, and we were going to do that to the total of 27 points in the season, where we're winning the games, and we just give up the tying goal. And there were occasions where we have managed to tie the game, and we just let go, and we give up at least a point, especially when away from home. To me, that was incredibly unjustified and reckless and irresponsible from the team, not only the players, but for the manager himself to allow this to happen. A lot of people still remember this famous moment of the running of the wall in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinal against New York City. Fantastic moment. I was part of the mobile wall that assembled behind the goal. And for those that don't know, the game went to penalties to decide the winner, and New York City elected to go to the opposite goal where their supporters were versus the side where the north stands, where our firms or our supporter groups stand. And because a little explanation, the for the game, not all the stadium was available for purchase. You can buy a ticket, or you could only buy a ticket for the eastern side of the stadium and for the wall, which is again the north stands. And so the western side and the south side, which is where I usually see in my season tickets with my season tickets, was empty. The only difference was that the New York City supporters were on the second level, and people were like, "No, we're not having this." And supporters from the north stand started running towards the south side, and I remember looking at this scene because I was in the center seats, and I just people were like, "Oh my God, that's crazy, that's incredible," and I was like, I can witness history, or I can simply just go and join them. And I did. So that is a fantastic moment, but people tend to forget conveniently that happened because we gave up a goal at the death. Literally, the ref had the whistle on his mouth, and we gave up that goal, and by doing so, we allowed New York City to have a chance to come back, and they had the chance. They hit the woodwork a couple of times. They scared us, and we just got lucky that Adam Greenwich, our uh, backup goalkeeper, basically made himself big that day and had two incredible stops. But what if we would have allowed New York to score in I'm sorry to score, yeah, in the extra time, or to win the penalty rounds, then we would have felt stupid. So that's part of it. I'm sorry I went on a little rant about the reasons why our old manager just quite didn't work out, but I guess it translates very well to this. Um, I hope that Oscar is successful. I mean, but the truth is that there's a lot of things that need to change with the team, and we'll have to see if they will translate. First game of the season, we already know it's gonna be the 29th, February 29th at 6 p.m. against Real Salt Lake. Formidable opponent. Uh, my company's corporate headquarters in the U.S. are in Salt Lake City, so a lot of the guys there are RSL fans, and they always give me crap about Orlando City. So we gotta win. We gotta win that one. And quick thing, for those that remember that opening day game in 2016 against RSL, down 2 goals with a minute and a half left on the clock, and Orlando City scored 2 goals to come back and tie it. Probably one of the most amazing games. Sadly, about 40% of the fans there, including myself, missed it because who would have thought that Orlando City, in a minute and a half, was going to do that? I found out as I was outside of the stadium. So it's incredible. But so we'll see. We'll see if the magic is there with that. And first game away is the following Saturday, and that's gonna be in Colorado against the Rapids. Tough game. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be a mile um, above sea level. It's gonna be an incredible test of endurance and resilience. I'm a little bit happy that it's against Western teams that we can defeat. That they're winnable games because we're not gonna have Nani. Nani was suspended for 2 games in the 2020 season because of an incident that happened in 2019 when he pushed a ref in an argument with his chest. And of course, MLS did not suspend him in a season that was already lost. They have to kneecap us um, in a new season. So if we escape with 2 points, that will be great. Um, new manager, new players. That early in the season, maybe things are not gonna be gelling, but we'll see what happens. Of course, MLS being MLS could have been cruel and put us against the strongest teams in the East that early on, and that would have put us in a bad situation. So if we drop points against Western teams, it's not that bad. I'll shut up, and hopefully that will throw some light into what I just said about the new manager. Fingers crossed.
Oscar Pareja, Mike Ramajo, good to see you again. Welcome to Orlando. I wanted to ask you, and obviously Luis Muzi as well, with the current roster, I know you touched a little bit in Spanish. If you can kind of touch it in English, with the roster that you have, do you see the potential of this team making the playoffs this upcoming season? And for both of you, what's going to be the priority going into the offseason in terms of getting the right players for the team?
Uh, I will translate what is I spoke in Spanish about the roster. I believe in this roster, and Orlando, despite of the frustration that you all and the fans have on not making the playoffs, when you review the season, you see a lot of good things, and I did my homework and I saw that. So I believe in the roster that has put in place here. I hope that this refresh can help, and we can keep using and we can keep developing what Jason and and and, and Brian and James have done. As Luis said, I think this is a construction that I started 5 years ago, and I would like to come and be one of those who help, who has been done with this roster. Now, I would like to bring some other players to help us. I would like to have some additions to the roster who can make Orlando better. and excite the fans to come or keep coming or come back to the stadium. But I would like to bring the right player, not any, and not just because he's a good player, and then he's the one. I would like to identify what is the correct player who needs to be part of this community, this franchise, this team, and this a model of playing. So we would like to be wise there, and sometimes patient. It's not just signing players because we want to show the face to the fans, and I would like to be accurate with that.